Rams quarterback situation. I guess we're judging on a 1 to 5 alarm fire scale here, Cris. The Rams quarterback situation, which is interesting. A lot of people wonder if Matthew Stafford's going to be healthy. It seems like Sean McVay has fallen in love with Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett actually looks pretty good when he's in there. So the Rams quarterback situation is a blank alarm fire.
I think it's a 4 alarm fire. I'm not going to say
just
5.
4.
Just 4. Not 5 yet. Not 5 yet. But I'm a little scared. I am. They're concerned about Matthew Stafford. There's no doubt about that. I know that. I know. There was a setback when he threw the ball last week. You know that too. The plan was for him not to go, into the dark and we don't hear about him, right, for the whole week. That wasn't it. I mean, they're saying nothing because there is issues there. And I know there's issues from people, around the situation a little bit. So I don't know if he's getting, reevaluated by a specialist, whatever, but the plan was for him to practice. That didn't happen. Then the plan was maybe we'll throw again this weekend and see where it's at again this weekend. Nothing happened. Nobody wants to answer anything. Nobody wants to talk about it. We're sitting here on Monday, August 18th, and we're going to wait for McVay. McVay is going to give us our next update as far as what's going on there. Right? So it's concerning in that Stafford is one of the 7 or 8 best quarterbacks in football. And when he's the quarterback of the Rams, they're a Super Bowl team. Like, no doubt about it. Boom. Right? Jimmy Garoppolo, no. Negative ghostwriter. You don't feel that way. He's a good backup. I get it. But he can't do the things Matthew Stafford doing. And here's the other thing. You brought up Stetson Bennett, StuGotz. To me, what they're showing here, and reading between the tea leaves, what I do, and looking at this, they're getting Stetson Bennett ready to be the backup. That's what all signs are pointing towards that, oh shit, we're worried about Stafford. Garoppolo's going to have to start. Garoppolo's got a little bit of an injury history and getting dinged up himself. And they're like, damn, Stetson Bennett, you're one play away. So they're giving him reps and getting him ready. Not only grooming him, I think, to be the backup for the future, but they know he also might have to be the backup here to start the season. And so that's why he's getting a lot of throws, a lot of reps, and he has done a very good job to this point.
I have more clarity on the fires here. So they all start as a first alarm fire, which is typically the largest, okay?
Right.
But as the fire grows and becomes more and more dangerous, then a second alarm will go off, a third alarm will go off, a fourth, all the way up to 5, and that determines how many firemen come out to the scene,
Wow. Okay. Thanks for buttoning that up. I appreciate that.
I didn't listen to a word you said about Stetson Bennett. I was reading everything about fires.
Good. I'm glad you did it. I mean, you got to contribute to the podcast some way, somehow, so I'm glad you added that in there right there. We needed that.
The Browns quarterback situation is a blank alarm fire. Dylan Gabriel played over the weekend. It was Shedeur Sanders a week ago. He looked great. I thought Dylan Gabriel looked really, really good despite the 1 interception, the 1 pick six. He also lost a fumble. But what level of fire is this? Alarm fire is this for you, Cris?
Well, I'm going to say 3. I mean, 1, they got quarterbacks. I think more the alarm or the fire or whatever else. It's just what's the pecking order going to be? How are they going to, use all 4 of these guys? What's the depth chart going to look like? By all indications, it's going to be Joe Flacco, the starter. I expect Kevin Stefanski to say that this week. And he's the only one that's been able to practice all throughout training camp. I don't think you're going to see Kenny Pickett or Shedeur Sanders be the backups after all the time they're missing. Hamstring, oblique injury. Dylan Gabriel was missing time too, and now he's back and he played well, right? So, I think it's like, to me, the playing on the field is maybe only a 3-alarm fire. The situation when Deshaun Watson all of a sudden starts to go, wait, I'm healthy, I want to be back on the roster and all that, that's when we can get into a 5-alarm dysfunctional huge fire there. That's for sure. But for right now, it's just about the depth chart. Joe Flacco will be the starter, and then who's the backup, and how do they order Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel? But I'm with you, StuGotz. I like the way Dylan Gabriel looked too. The interception, he's confident. He's, in a lot of ways, like some of his physical skills pop to me more than a Tyler Shough or a Jackson Dart. All right. And you've heard me say, like, I'm not wowed by those guys. I mean, Dylan Gabriel, when he puts some mustard on the ball, he can throw it pretty hard. He can get it out of his hand quick. He's a very damn good athlete. I mean, we saw him run for 40 and 50-yard touchdowns at Oregon last year. So he does have some of that. His biggest detriment, of course, is his size. That's what you worry about. The interception, you can't let the other guy's mistake become your mistake. right? That's what happened. He had two receivers real close to each other, and the spacing was messed up. And when you see stuff like that in the NFL, you don't try to squeeze that in. You just got to go, hey, they won the play. We messed up. Let's play another down. And the fumble, of course, unfortunate too, and that's lack of reps. That's what it is. But, 2 weeks in a row, the two rookies in Cleveland have looked very good. That's for sure.
Which ones look better?
The way, I like Shadour's size, the way he's in the pocket. I think there's more untapped potential with Shadour still. Dillon, I feel like, is probably what you see is what you get, right? He's polished. Right. He's played a lot of football. He was at Oklahoma. He was at Oregon, all of that, right? So, from running the offense to the perfect, execution, Dillon Gabriel might have done that a little bit better, but Shadour made some big throws and some big moments that were big plays that either changed field positions or got a touchdown, right? Move into the pocket because of his size, sees it, boom, post right over the middle. So I'd probably give the edge to Shadour, and especially because he didn't turn the ball over, and that's certainly a big thing and that factors into this whole thing.
You would agree there is something to playing a lot of college football, right? Those guys seem to be more prepared when they get to the NFL.
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, look, ding, ding, ding. Look at Anthony Richardson. How prepared does he look so far?
Perfect.
Right? That was the whole concern. Has he played enough? And here we are going into year 3, still going, has he played enough? Right? That's why I don't think there's any way Arch Manning leaves. They understand, the Manning family, how important those reps are. You don't want to be trying to learn how to play and feel comfortable when you're in the NFL. You want to go, wait, I know how to play. I feel good. I got to get used to the NFL a little bit. Okay, I know there's going to be some growing pains, but you don't want to be like, I haven't had much experience, but now I'm with the best players in all the world. Now I'm going to get it and then get better, right? Usually not. Yeah. Negative Ghost Rider. So, I'm a big fan of that.
The most recent example is Jaden Daniels, right? He played a ton of college football.
Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix.
Yes.
Right? I mean, Bo Nix, they all fit that. That's where I was arguing there. People are like, well, these guys are a little old. Like, who the cares? Old? Who cares? What are you're guaranteeing you're going to have them for 12 years? No. They're your quarterback for the next 4 years, and then you reevaluate. Who cares if he's 25 when he comes out compared to 22, right? In a lot of ways, I like that these guys are a little older. They're more mature. They're going to be ready to handle it like a professional and, of course, have those reps to lean on to where the NFL transition isn't so drastic.
The Cowboys' backup quarterback situation is a blank alarm fire.
It's a 5-alarm fire right there. All right, that's
wow.
one.
Our first 5-alarm fire.
Our first 5-alarm. Get all the firefighters. Tell them to start going down the pole. They need to get there. Hurry up. Hurry. Step on the gas. All right, all gas, no brakes. But I like Joe Milton. I see what they see. There's potential
talent there, Cris.
Right.
There is.
There's he does some crap where you're just like, holy crap, that's superstar stuff. All right.
Right. Then he does some crap where you're just like, holy crap.
He does some stuff exactly right. Like we just maybe talked about with Anthony Richardson, where you're like, wait, he was wide open and you missed him by 10 feet. What are you doing? How did that happen? That's where you're worried. I wouldn't feel comfortable about him being the backup. He's a project, like we said last week. They're digging for gold. They're trying to strike gold, and you got to be patient and keep digging there. And that's what they're doing. They're approaching it the right way. But, man, I would not be sleeping good at night if I was Brian Schottenheimer going, man, Dak Prescott, who gets hurt a lot over the last few years, if he gets hurt, we're going with Joe Milton. No. It's just not polished enough. There's not enough, accurate throws, the right decisions all the time. It's just a little too all over the place. And I don't know, maybe StuGotz, maybe they're going to go with Will Grier as the backup. Maybe they feel comfortable with him. I don't know, but I would be certainly one, if I'm them, looking at the landscape when cuts happen, right? To maybe a Jameis Winston does become available from the Giants and you make him a backup, or somebody else, another veteran guy, right? To where you don't have to put Joe Milton in that situation, right off the bat to start his career. He is raw. He hasn't played a ton, and you don't want to ruin him before he starts and just throw him out into the fire that way. So, that's a 5-alarm fire as far as the backup quarterback situation there in Dallas.
Maybe it's Kirk Cousins or something like that. I can't see the Giants trade. If the Cowboys are struggling and have to resort to Joe Milton, I don't think the Giants are going to bail him out.
No, maybe not. But I think what happens there is maybe the Giants end up going, hey, Russell's the starter, Jackson Dart's the backup, Tommy DeVito's our third, and they end up releasing Jameis Winston to where he's free, right?
Interesting.
And then he goes down there and goes, hey, this isn't a bad place to be backup. Wait, they got some talent. They got a good O-line. They got 2 good receivers. Dak Prescott does get hurt a few times or a few games, it seems like every year. I can go in here and play and show everybody how good I am. And, I think he still wants to be a starter somewhere at some point in his career. But, that situation, they need to fix that in Dallas.
Tyler Shough's early results are a blank alarm fire.
Oh, I think his early results, I mean, they've been really good. I one alarm fire. I mean, I think you got to feel good for the way he looked. He doesn't wow me again. Just like you heard me say with Jackson Dart. I'm not like, oh my gosh, we got a budding superstar here, right? This is why you heard me through the draft process. Like, I really wouldn't have wanted any of these guys other than our man down in Tennessee.
Cam Ward.
Yes, Cam Ward. Thank you. I was blanking on his name there.
You're hungover.
I know, okay. I am. I'm trying to fight through it. But and everything I see with how they play the game, how they called the game, all that, Tyler Shough's going to be the starter. They know what Spencer Rattler is, and Spencer Rattler is just not as good as Tyler Shough. He's not. He had a good game the other night. I get that. But the fact that he's playing late into the game like that also tells me, they don't make the starting quarterback play late in the fourth quarter in the preseason, okay? That's enough. That's an inkling right there to go, no. They got Tyler Shough in. He got good reps in preseason game number 1. And then this game, he gets to start. He did a good job, right? And I think all signs are pointing to him being the starting quarterback for a New Orleans team that, I don't expect to be extremely talented or much of a force in the NFL this year.
Cris.
Yo, homies, what's up? Thanks for watching Cris Simms Unbuttoned. And just because the weather's warm doesn't mean football ain't still on our brains right here.
We are still working, so smash that subscribe button. We got all the training camp news, preseason news, everything up until kickoff night.
Thanks for watching. And again, remember to hit that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.